All right, everybody, in this video, what I want to talk about is flowers and why they are so important to the garden. More than just bringing in pollinators, why do you want to have flowers in the garden? Also, I'm going to start putting this together and actually start planting flowers. So, I know if you're a beginner gardener, you're excited to just start growing vegetables and everything, and you're going to grow the world's largest tomato. I get that, and we all feel the same way, trust me. But flowers are a vital part to your garden success. So sit back, relax, let's talk flowers. All right, y'all, I've got some flowers to talk about. But before that, let me go ahead and continue working on putting this thing together. Now, I got this off of TikTok. And what drew me to it is the fact that it came with its own lights that you can put in just like that. And then the only thing you'll need is a heat mat. Now, how cool is that? It's hard plastic, so it's good quality. It's going to last you a long time. You got two. Got all these little things here, which, to be honest, I never use. Came with some plant markers. I love it. Got it off the TikTok shop before all the crazy TikTok stuff started. But check that out right there. Okay, so before I go down the rabbit hole and I just start focusing on planting, because I'm in that planting mood, let's talk about why flowers are so important. Well, first off, of course, they are going to bring in pollinators. The more pollinators you have in your backyard, obviously the better chances you have of having your vegetables pollinated. But there's more pollinators than just bees. I know when you think pollination, everyone thinks bees. Bees, bees, bees. We get that. Bees are great. They are a equal opportunity pollinator. They don't care about the flowers. They only care about getting as much pollen as they can, taking it back to the hive and creating honey. We all get that. But you don't just want to bring in bees. You want to bring in lots of different types of pollinators. And you might be asking yourself, well, why? Why? Don't bees just, isn't all I need are bees? No. You need more than just bees in your garden. And let me explain why. What you want are what are called beneficial insects. You don't want just bees. Bees are great. They do what they're supposed to do, but they don't do what other beneficial insects do that also pollinate. And let me give you an example, a hoverfly that I'm putting up on the screen right here. Now, I know this looks like a bee that has the head of a fly. I know it looks kind of weird, and when you first see it, you might be like, and you want to kill it. Don't kill hoverflies. Let them live. This little insect right here is the second most important pollinator, period, behind bees. But they also kill bad insects, such as aphids and scale insects, which you don't want. So not only does this pollinator pollinate, because they drink and they eat pollen and nectar and all that out of the flowers, but they also are predatory insects towards the bad insects, which are what you want to get rid of. So bringing in this pollinator does two things: pollinates, and it helps get rid of bad pests. Now, let me really blow your mind. Certain insects prefer certain shaped flowers. And this is why it's incredibly important to have a lot of different types of flowers in the garden. You don't just want to have nothing but marigolds. Marigolds are great, don't get me wrong. I have a lot in my backyard every year. But you want a lot of different shaped flowers because certain insects like certain shaped flowers. Hoverflies, for an example, love zinnias, this shaped flower that have a big, beautiful, open flower face. They like open flower faces. Also, they like asters, daisies, and yarrow, just as an example. Those type of flowers will attract hoverflies. So you definitely want to plant those types of flowers to bring in the hoverfly. Now, another really good insect to have in your garden are lacewings. Now, these are also very easily eaten by other insects. So they're a great insect to have in your garden, but they also get preyed upon too. You know, nature. But lacewings are great because they also eat aphids. It's spider mites, white flies, insects like that. They like the umber flowers, which could be anything from just allowing your carrots to flower. They create a bowl on top. Dill creates that kind of an umbrella shaped. Cosmos, they love cosmos. They also like sunflowers, sweet alyssum, dill, when I just mentioned dill. They also like daisies, which also bring in the hoverfly. So plant some daisies. So as you're planting your flowers, you will be planting beacons out there in your garden to different insects from the same flower that we want in our gardens. So plant as many flowers as you can. Plant sunflowers, marigolds, poppies. A lot of insects love poppies. Zinnias again. This year I'm going really heavy on flowers in the garden. Now, the rule that I always stick by is around a 70-30 split for your flowers to vegetables. 30% flowers, 70% vegetables. You have that kind of a split, and it doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. This is gardening. Just do what you can and have fun with it, right? But you want to have as close to that range as you can. And I also would advise allowing your dill to go to flower. That's for a whole nother video. They are super beneficial to tomato plants, which I have some videos on that relationship that I'll put up right here. But let your flowers go. Oregano also brings in lacewings. So if you have oregano in your garden and you want to just let some of it go to flower, that also helps bring in beneficials. I advise you get a flower game going in your garden, especially if you're a new gardener. You want to start building the correct habits, the correct knowledge at the beginning, right here at the beginning. That way it's just second nature to you as you progress through this journey of gardening. Another beneficial partner in the garden are hummingbirds. And if you're in an area that gets them like I do, who doesn't love seeing hummingbirds flying around your garden, darting all over the place, going crazy, right? Well, and you don't just need to have a hummingbird feeder in your garden. In fact, I don't have a hummingbird feeder anymore in the garden, and I always have hummingbirds out there. And you attract them by flowers. Now, hummingbirds are a little different. They like our tubular or funnel shaped flowers, but I'll be totally honest with y'all, I've seen them on literally every flower I've had out there. Different shapes and everything. I mean, a hummingbird is gonna get what it wants, however it wants. Colors do attract hummingbirds. So plant the following colored flowers in your garden if you want to help attract hummingbirds to your garden. A little cheat sheet on this one. I don't know hummingbirds super good. Red, blue, purple, white flowers. Honeysuckle, or flowers that have the honeysuckle shape, which would be kind of like a tube or a funnel shape. Get them in the garden and bring them in. Now, here's one that a lot of gardeners, at least in my area, plant, and it's great for everything. Lantana. Lantana is a great flower to grow. It's honestly a plant and forget. You don't even have to really think about that flower and it will just get huge. Be all over your garden. Now, it does get big, not gonna lie. So I like to have my lantana in the corners of my garden, which are kind of like my flower corners. I don't have a lot of vegetables, in fact, any growing in the corners. I just have those as my flower areas. So if you have an area that you want to really plant just flowers in, think about lantana if you can get it in your area. Great flower to plant. And finally, let's just talk a little bit about butterflies, y'all. Pollinators and flowers, of course, we got to hit on butterflies, right? Now, here's the thing with a butterfly. They don't care. They're going to come into your garden and they will find the flower that they want. I have literally seen a butterfly on every kind of different flower I have out there. Different shaped flower, just everywhere. So plant your flowers. I'm beating this horse to death, I know. Plant your flowers. Get a lot of different colors out there. Get a lot of different shaped flowers in your garden, and just have fun with it. Like, when you think of planting flowers and bringing a beautiful color palette to your garden, who in the world will think of gray, right? Would you ever think of gray? But I found that gray poppy that I am so excited to plant. All of these, both of these are going to be my flower starts. And I'm really excited for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. I want to hit the ground running when the freezes are over. And for me here in Zone 9A, that's around March 1st. And I'm just excited to do it. So if you're a brand new gardener, hopefully you know when your last expected frost date is. That's very important. If you don't, go to this website right here, type in your zip code. It'll tell you when your last expected frost date is, and then you know when you can start planting and when you should start backing up to start your seeds early. Now, everyone does this differently. I always say, 5 to 6 weeks before your last expected, but I always go I'm too impatient. I have to get stuff in the ground. Like on March 1st or 3rd, somewhere in that range. I'm gonna be planting these flowers, but I have a lot of flowers, y'all, and these aren't even all of them. I have tons, plus all the volunteer flowers that are out there, all the marigolds that I planted 3 or 4 years ago that keep coming back, all the basil that's out there that I don't have to deal with. I just have to move the basil around the yard. And that's the beauty of gardening. Once you start planting flowers over and over again, they will drop, they will do their thing over the winter, and then once spring hits and those seeds germinate, we're all off to the races with everything. So I hope this video was educational. I hope it was informative. I hope you got something out of it. If nothing else, make sure you start a flower game with your vegetables. Very important. Not just for the color and the pollinators, but you want to bring in those beneficial insects that will help patrol your garden, eating and feasting and controlling the bad pests in your garden. And the more of those you can get in, the healthier your ecosystem is in your backyard, in your garden, the better your plants are going to be, and the better your experience is going to be in the garden. Because pests, y'all, they will just absolutely drive a gardener crazy. I hate them. Hate them. But hey, that's the video. If y'all enjoyed this video, do me the 3 favors: share, like, subscribe to this channel if you've not done so already. If you are a beginner gardener and you are looking for a channel geared toward beginner gardeners from a somewhat beginner gardener, you found the right channel. Click that subscribe button, hit that bell so you're always notified whenever I upload videos, and join this fast-growing community of like-minded gardeners here on YouTube. Take care, God bless. Get a good flower game going in your head so you can get it in the garden and just have the best gardening experience. I'll talk to y'all again real soon. Bye.